Hey guys, how goes it? Hi, Crystal. Hi, Elizabeth. Let me see. T is here. Cindy is here. All the folks are here. So you may have seen the thumbnail and said, "What on earth are we doing? Isn't this supposed to be fall?" And the answer is kind of. But one of my crafty fun friends, Heather, was having a hard time getting into Christmas, so I thought it would be a great sort of excuse to compare to kit products that I haven't touched or seen in real life yet. So anyway, we're going to we'll probably do an actual project, but I think I think one of the kits is fall themed. I'll say that. I think the other one is very much like Christmas. So I'm always willing to help out a friend. So I was kind of like, sure, I can make a Christmas card. I mean, we're going to be prepping for shows and all sorts of other things coming soon, but uh I'll say it's a challenge because, it's 86 in southern Wisconsin. I heard from Crystal it's 80 in Colorado. It's like we're kind of in the isn't it supposed to be hoodie weather right now? So let me see what chat stuff I was missing. It's funny. I was taught my mom was rewatching one of my streams and she was like, "Why do you always look over to the side like that?" And I'm like, "Well, that's where my laptop is." So it's like, whoops. But let me see what I am missing from you all. Hope you all are doing well. I'm so glad you're chatting with each other. Hey, Heather. I guess I should say, I think it was a different Heather who was actually interested in Christmas cards, but I am glad to have you all here. And let me see if anybody else. Yeah, I know that, well, it's kind of interesting, Debbie, because I was chatting a little bit with Teresa, who does sort of the pattern paper stuff for Not Too Shabby a while back. And it's like, I don't know how you get into Christmas because it's like the times I've been in Florida in January, it's like still 70. So it's sort of like, I mean, you can always dress up the palm trees, but you know, it's all good. I don't know. About February, I'm like, why do I live in this awful climate? But now it's perfect. So except it's still summer, but eventually it's going to switch over to fall, and that is one of my favorite times of year. At least all the leaves are like the same color as my background right now. We've got a whole bunch of like thornless honey locusts, and they tend to drop their leaves really early in the season. So we've got like all these cute little yellow leaves everywhere. I'm kind of tempted to like collect them and use them for some sort of like background technique to like use them to like mask off things. But anyway, I haven't done that yet. But I had sort of one of those weeks where it's like between work and other adulting stuff. It's like I didn't really get to craft that much, so I'm really happy to be here with you all. Hi, Yvette. How are you? Nice to see you 2 days in a row. Yeah. I mean, I think it always is summer in San Diego, but anywho, let us. Uh, I don't know. I mean, like, it's funny because one of my friends is from kind of Southern Northern California, Central Cali, and it's sort of like they're always like, when I was out there in the holidays, it's like there's just fake snow everywhere, and it's still 70, and people can wear shorts, and that's fantastic. But anyway, let me swap you out. Let me bounce myself over into the corner a little bit and show you my desk because I wanted to. And this is mostly, and I wanted to sort of, Annie, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, okay. Well, I hope that works out for you. I mean, I think it's great. I saw that a friend request come through from you, and I assumed you were rejiggering your channel in some way. But anyway, we should totally catch up. I hope you've been doing well. I hope both you and Belle are recouping from your illness and whatnot. But I saw her on a live stream, and she seemed like she was doing okay too. But that's good to know. At least I know what your channel is called again. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I am so bad at like remembering to do that. Like, I feel like I should. It's been told to me about 5 billion times that, like, even in like a long form video, you should totally tell people about that. But thank you very much. I do appreciate when you guys do all the YouTubey things because it tells people, and especially people. Sometimes YouTube will just recommend the streams to people based on the hashtags, especially these because they've been sort of more beginner geared, but anyway, maybe I should get to the point today. But so there are two products I thought would be really good direct comparisons because they're both basically kits that are 100% consumable. And it gets a little weird because there are people who really like, in sort of like, if you think about like a traditional Spellbinders kit where there's like dies and stamps and then a bunch of paper you can use, these kits are all basically paper you can use. So on one hand, I grabbed the Stampin' Up, and this is sort of a new thing I guess they've been doing. They've been releasing just sort of standalone kits, but and this retails, I think, somewhere around the $15 price point. But basically, it's a kit. It allows you to make tags. It allows you to make uh, a dozen of them, I think, or I can't do math. Yeah, 15 is not a dozen. There are 5 designs, and you can make 3 of each. So, as you can see, compared to some of our other kits, this one is pretty light in terms of the supplies, but that's very much done on purpose. Actually, I guess I can open this up because for folks who are new, I guess I would say these kits are very much designed to give you instructions. So I just want to pull the instructions out of here. And then we can compare it to its competitor. Oh, and this is wrapped twice for my convenience, I guess. That is awesome. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, this will. Anyway, what I really want to in there, it comes with a lot of embellishments and other stuff. We'll get into that in a second because this is the one we're probably actually going to make a tag and then stick it on a card because I think I've sort of neglected tags in the past, but just to give you the vibe of this thing, um, and don't punch your scissors in the middle of the instructions, but basically it's going to walk you through how to make everything like in a very blatant kind of way. Um, Most other kits on the market don't do that. So where I think that when we figure out what kit this is, this, I guess I should back up and say the Spellbinders kit is twice as much money. This is 29. That one is 15, I think. Um, so basically, if we think about having 15 tags, if we put those on cards and made 15 cards out of them, then for the same rate as this, you'd get about 30 cards, if that makes sense. Hello, Cordelia. How are you? We are getting into the Christmas spirit, but I managed to sort of sideline that so I could talk about kits again because I love a card kit and have too many of them. Anyway, let me open this up. I did want to sort of open these up just so that my reactions were actually my reactions rather than sort of going through everything. So I think there are videos on my channel looking at these, but basically these kits, ooh, if they did fall, I'm going to be really happy because I don't know, not to get into my pet peeves about spellbinders, but they have a tendency to skip fall. But they didn't do that this year, so kudos because fall is my favorite season. And now, if you look at this, they teach you how to make one thing, but there's a lot more stuff in here than to make one thing. So this is much more rather than like specific instructions. This is much more like variations around a theme. Um, and if you like that, this will probably be more to your liking. If you're someone, I remember just vividly, like I took this color theory class and there was a very open ended assignment, and one of the people in the class was just very unhappy with that. Like, she just really wanted to know how you know when you're done. And it was basically around like essentially pick a color and like essentially think about what it means to you. Like, where do you see it? Why do you like it? Generally, it was like pick a color you like, or really just anything you have a strong emotional reaction to. But I mean, it was sort of interesting because it's sort of like, well, you're never done or you're done right now. So anyway, um, but anyway, Spellbinders has traditionally sort of done not fall, not Halloween, and done a whole bunch of Christmas. And I'm sure they will do a lot of Christmas this year. But what am I? So let's dig into this one a little bit. And both of these kits come with adhesives. I haven't really torn into the Stampin' Up one, but Spellbinders always comes with adhesives. It always comes with card bases. So probably, and their new formulation of their kit comes with cardstock. Let me just open this up and see what kind of color palette. It seems like the color palette they've used a lot, which is sort of pink and blue and, oh, this is a really nice green, actually. But they have a pretty decent, well, I can just spread this out. And this is, I think, I forget what they call their brown, but I like their cardstock a lot because it's dyed all the way through the core. So if you die cut with it, you don't have like the funny little like I can see white now. But this is sort of the color palette. We've seen a lot of light blues and pinks from Spellbinders. If I have one criticism of their quick and easy card kits, it's that a lot of them tend to have very similar color palettes. But anyway, as I've been rambling and not paying attention to you guys, yeah, see, I think it depends what kind of beginner you are. Like, if you're, I'll use my mom for example. Like, my mom really wants to be able to make a card that looks good. So I think like a more prescriptive kit she would love. I I go both ways. Like sometimes I really like having an end in mind, and sometimes I'm just sort of like, I don't know. I like to improvise. So, I mean, I think, and I mean, the nice thing about both of these kits is really you can do a lot of cards. We'll talk. I guess we had said that for $30, which would have been two of the Stampin' Up kits, you would have gotten 30 cards. Here, your limiting factor once we get there is the pattern paper, and you would have 20 sheets of pattern paper roughly the rubric I usually use is sort of would get like 2 to 3 cards per sheet of pattern paper, and that would lead you to about 50 cards out of this kit, which I think is fair. These guys always come with embellishments. Looks like these are black sequins, which is an interesting choice. I think these are black. Let me just hold them up to the light here. Yeah, they are black. I would not have guessed black. But we have puffy stickers, which I like their puffy stick. I like their stickers a lot. And we are definitely in a fall place, and they have not done a fall kit that I'm aware of, and I am very grateful for that because and there's a cute bear. I'm gonna just be distracted by their product for a while, but, that's gonna happen with the other kit, so, I guess sorry or hope you enjoy that in advance. So the Stampin' Up! Kits, in theory, if it was a card kit, would come with your card bases. The Spellbinders ones come with 8, but you'll need to add more. And in both these cases, my estimates are like if you added your own card bases and cardstock. And Disney. Love and laughter. I like that as a sentiment. So much to be grateful for. Well, I think this makes sense because you can kind of could see some of this stuff going in like Thanksgiving, harvest season, whatever you want to call that. I see we have these are also either black or these might be brown. The sequins themselves too. I think they're the same color. Yeah. Well, the sequins look black. These look like a very dark brown. I do like all these family sentiments because I think that's really cute. Live, love, laugh. That's nice. So very I do like uh Gather, I think is my favorite Thanksgiving-ish sentiment, but those are pretty good. I'm not seeing anything that I'm grabbing and saying, "Oh my." I won't undo this die pack because with these kits, they've been putting a ton of stuff into the die pack. It probably at least 100 pieces. But looking at this, we can see we have rainbows and what are you? Pumpkins and woodland critters. It seems like it's in some squashes. It seems sort of fall, but with sort of a woodland critter vibe, I guess. And let's look at the paper we get. Um, I really wish they would go back to selling full pads of their paper, but I think they rightly made the decision that like the $40 craft kit market was just very competitive to be in. So we getting more pinks, some nice greens. Basically, you get one of everything in this as opposed to two in like a normal pattern paper pad. There's a little there are little hearts foiled on. What are you? I guess you're little thermoses or bags. And then one of their traditional florals. They do really nice floral paper. And this a lot of this is reminding me, especially this leaf pattern of Time Offline. It has a lot of similar things. So sort of a soft fall palette, I think, is what we're pretty much working with here. But not like not sort of blatantly the colors I would use, like we know my fall color palette is kind of like orange and a whole bunch of yellow. And these are different colors. They just don't look that way on camera. Or maybe they do. Let's see if we have a real orange. Yeah. Or like a real orange or a ginger or like I'm all about that color palette, so I'm liking this. But I think doing the math, I think the value for money on both is pretty high. It really depends what you want to do. But since we want to do Christmas, let's bust into the other kit and we will see if my opinion on that changes. I like that I like with the Spellbinders kits that you always seem to have stuff left over. I think with this other kit, I'm going to say that I'm not going to feel that way because, we were getting a bunch of, well, let me just pull it out. And we're getting some twine, although I have other twine I might use, but we'll see. We may do this and follow the rules. There are stickers. Are you stickers? No, you are not stickers. So these are all die cuts, and they're all the same. Well, I mean, in that there are. So you have your 5 designs basically. So these top layers are foiled. I don't know if that sort of reads on camera. Anyway, Slightly. I mean, they're kinda like Spellbinders pattern paper where they're slightly foiled. They are not double-sided, which we will see if that matters later or not. It looks like nothing is double-sided, which that's a little disappointing, but I feel like if they're not double-sided, it makes them, very more suited to mounting on a card than using as an actual tag, because, I mean, I feel like an actual tag you would see the back of, you know? One thing somebody pointed out to me was that once you punch these out, you actually have something you can use as a mask. Here's some more gold. I like that. Um, this reminds me a lot. And then we have our three. These are big tags. Essentially, these are all triple layer tags, I think, where you'd have sort of a, like 1, 2, and then one of these on top of it. So essentially, these would all go together. So we will punch some of that out. I tend to not be a punching everything out person. And then we have sentiments in a bunch of languages. These are stickers, it feels like. And there's a cat. So what do we have? We have Be Merry, Mary. We have a Noel with the. I should be able to figure out in what order these languages are better than I am, shouldn't I? For you, Christmas, Mary. And then there are a few little bits and pieces, where it says, a couple of friends, a couple joys, some extra Noels, Christmas spelled in a fancy German way. And I think there are a couple. Is there more than one sheet? No, there is one sheet. And then there's some bling and some adhesive little dotty thingies that are actually hexagons. They probably have a name. Let's pull out this bag and take a look. So we have some adhesive gems. These are fairly small. So like for point of comparison, these are sort of some enameled, whatever we're calling the enamel dots that I use quite often. So like these are like the size of a relatively the smallest enamel dot in that particular set. And then we have little itty bitty, yeah, they're little itty bitty hexagons. Let's see how big those are. Spoiler, I know nothing about this product. Well, other than what I'm telling you now. So these are a little more than 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch, side to side. So these are pretty small. They're probably about the same thickness as sort of a standard foam tape. If I grab my new super huge foam tape roll and we sort of put it side by side, it's slightly thicker, but they're probably about the same. This is 1.5 millimeters. Folks have argued that the 1 millimeter is actually better, but anyway, let me just catch up on what folks are saying. I am way behind. Yeah, I the tealy blue or like the sort of the light blue. I'm kind of curious. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, I do like the font. I like blocky fonts better. I mean, these are tiny. So, it makes sense, right? If this is sort of your focal point, like the fact that your sentiment would be small, I mean, it works together. I think whoever designed this, like, I think whoever designed this sort of thought through things or at least tested well. Hello, Lynn. How are you? We're playing around with tags and we're looking at the Spellbinders kit. And by the way, after all the complaining about not having a fall kit, I don't know how I missed your video on this one because this one looks really, really cute. And yeah, not that we're sort of taking a break from fall today, but fall is coming back because fall is the best season ever because it has pumpkin spice. And let's see, everybody is saying hello. Eensy weensy, like an eensy weensy spider. The darker blue and the lighter blue. Oh, okay. I like the. I think I'll do one of these because I like the teal. The only thing that is like, ideally, I would not use my supply as well because these are single sided. I would like take two of these and put them back to back. If I were going to use this as a tag, I'm going to cheat to a certain degree and make cards out of this, I think. But I do think I want to figure out which tag that one is and probably use that because I like that color the best. Let's see. I like the flavors. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've gone more towards like sort of chai flavored things because I during whatever sort of 2020 2021 it was like I was at home and got really into drinking tea rather than coffee because I got like too wired. I don't know if it's teal. It's almost teal. It's a green leaning blue. I don't know. I can never tell because it depends a lot on your light. But anyway, let us guess. So let's work. Let's do the teal. Let me grab the one thing that I didn't have in front of me. Let's figure out if we're going to use. Well, let's figure out what this is. Well, it looks like these are these are the tree ones, which I kind of like the tree the best anyway. And it comes with the little blingy bits. And we'll have to figure out what the other tag is in here, but I guess we don't have to worry because there are a lot of instructions. Let us figure out what kind of a card base would be nice. Since we are all in a blue vibe, this is also a blue-green that I think would look nice. Like, I don't know that you'd even have to matte this, really. Like, I think these would just look pretty nice together with, like, I think these colors would look pretty cool together. So I may just do that. Normally, like, I guess normally my approach is, well, let's punch some of these out and see how big they are. But if you're working, say you were working with just the, I guess I can, well, I should probably read the instructions, but so let's say we were just working with the tree. If I can punch it out. Yeah, these aren't all pre-punched out. They're still little tabby bits. So FYI, if that's a thing that might annoy you one way or the other. But say we were just working with a very small focal piece, what I would probably do is cut some kind of mat and put it on here. Let's see if I have anything close at hand that, well, let's say this, right? Like you could do something like that, and then do something kind of fun behind it. Also, the other thing you can do is if you don't want to like cut a mat, you can also do sort of interesting background techniques on here. Although this isn't about how to make card bases awesome without doing anything, but I've also been really obsessed with these mica stain things, of which I have a lot. For Christmas, this was one of the last year distressed Christmas ones, but this blue is really nice, and the pink is really pink. If you're a pink person, but like either the blue or the green would work really well. Like if we wanted to zhuzh up any of this, or if we have a tag that we think is a little boring, we could certainly give it a little bit of pre-embellishment before making things out of it. Oh, are we doing clusters? Yeah, clusters are nice too. What I'm thinking basically is figuring out how to assemble this tag. And then since this is pretty big, if we can pull this out and get the little, I'm not going to throw away that little gold bit, but I think what we can do is more or less follow the rules and use a little bit of the twine to attach the 3 tags together. But I think we could also embellish this too. I like this, although we could potentially cheat and reach into external products and because I know where that there's a Marion Bright kit behind me that I'm sure has 9 billion die cuts that we could do. But let's at least try to follow the rules for 5 minutes and then see if we get bored with that. So the tree. One thing I do like about these instructions is they actually have a ruler on them. One thing I don't like is it's sort of the 0 point is here. So to me, that's confusing. But I mean, I guess it depends. I like things more like my grid mat where it just like figures them out in a row. Let us see. Oh, that. I like the mica. The mica sprays are great, Elizabeth. I am so well. Let's take a momentary things I've been working on break. So I've been working on. Wow, sorry about that. I was not in the right spot. I've been working on a ton of backgrounds with mica spray. So like, I thought I needed metallic blue, so now I have one. This is just I don't know. It's a very lightweight cardstock that I just sort of sprayed on. I don't know why it got a very dappled look, which is really cool. I'm not sure why. It may be just that it was inexpensive paper. And then this one was one that didn't work out really. Um, this was just a non-mica. Well, this was the gold spray, and then I oversprayed it with water. So it's got this really interesting pattern, but it basically came out brown. So I don't know. I'm sure I'll use it for something, but I wasn't wowed by it. And then I was playing around with craft and a new orange one I got. So this orange is really more of a red orange than a true orange, which made me kind of sad because I was hoping more for like pumpkin orange, but that didn't work out. Here you can see what it looks like on just like cream, which is it's very red, but not bad. Anyway, these give me fall and Halloween vibes a lot. And then I may have showed you this one. This was playing around with some pigment powders and just some water on some of my fall card stock. I think I showed this one to T before because she liked it. And then here's another one. This is the Distress. I think this is just a Distress purple. I think this is Villainous Poison on top of yellow with bronze. What's the word I'm looking for? Perfect pearlsy stuff. Except it wasn't real perfect pearls, but it was a similar product. Anyway, so now I have like 15 backgrounds. So like, hey, those are coming. I'm thinking that a lot of them like would be really cool just to dye. I have some really pretty decent leaf die cuts. So I'm thinking some of the ones, particularly like these two, I think would be really neat to die cut leaves out of, which has nothing at all to do with Christmas. So look at me off topic. What am I trying to figure out? Oh yeah, how we're supposed to put this thing together. And it is here. So we need one of these tags, and we need I need one of these, and I need to figure out where this other taggy maboober is. Oh, that must be this one. Yes, that's totally a technical term, but I don't know. Not to be a crabby person, but I would have really liked these if they were double-sided a lot more, like, even if I got half as much. Because I feel like if you're gonna use these as real tags, like, the tags get seen in 3 dimensions, it's sort of like, I don't know. It's like a box card or, a pop-up where you're like, I mean, I may have to see this from the side. I mean, I guess the benefit, I'll say, of these is, like, if you want to stamp on these and do a to and from and whatever, I mean, you can do that. So the bossy instructions suggest that we should basically stick this here and then put a Noel here and then pop this up with something. And I feel like I could get away with just one piece of the foam tape I usually use. So I think I'll do that, which probably is not being nice to the kit, but we have our moments. I actually like foam tape you can cut better than the sticky bits. I mean, like the little dots, but I don't know. Oh, if anyone knows of a good what adhesive bits you should get for all those dancing Spellbinders dies, if you're still here, Debbie, you might know. I was trying to figure. I was going to email their customer service to just ask them like what do you suggest in terms of like what products? Because I haven't like I kind of assumed Spellbinders would sell something, but yeah. And we kind of want to leave some space for the Noel. I think they actually have I guess the Noel goes on here. So I lied. Essentially just put this in the middle and then it will sticky down and it'll look like a tag. Do we need anything else to understand on here? No, not really. Everything else should just go together and then we have to figure out. Okay, smart people. There are Noels with a line over the. There's no Noels with dots over the E and Noels not with dots over the E. I'm confused as to what the difference is. I'm sure that since this is a kit that can service like uh, more than just the US, that it's probably just a different spelling in a different language. But I am curious. Anyway, so I just lined this up and the other thing that was suggested was putting some blingy bits around, which I can do that. I think they suggested 3. So we'll just always kind of move these with your fingernail if you're like me. And I will say these are sticking down pretty well. So like I don't have any gripes in terms of the product. So essentially the suggestion was to do it like this. This does look very cute. If this was done as designed, like I do like the dark green and the gold together. So I think like I like this. I think this is. I'm curious if this is big enough where you could like hide a gift card behind it. Let me just do this not on the internet, but no. Well, that's unfortunate. This is big enough to like hide a card behind. So in theory, you could potentially like put a pocket on your card or behind or on whatever. I mean, obviously these are tags and we're just sort of doing our own thing, but you could potentially use this and maybe like do a hinge or something. I did that on a card recently, or maybe you could hinge it like this way and then you could hide like a gift card here or something. But I'm liking the colors together. I'm thinking I'm going to do the ribbon the twine, and then just sort of glue this whole thing down. And then I don't know, I might glue it. I might glue this a little at an angle. I kind of like the idea. It's too bad you don't really see the gold. Like I really like this gold, and it would be nice if it was more obvious. But oh well. The other thing, of course, and I've done this on cards too, is you can just glue these together and then glue these to the card and then bang, you're done. And that would be Like if I got that card, that would be a pretty cute card too. But let's do the twine and maybe have some movement. The dots are proper. Oh, yeah, probably. I'm sure I'm doing it the wrong way because, I'm not great at like reading the instructions. What am I? Oh. Oh yeah. Who was it? Scrapbook Pal had them. They had the old sets on sale for a bunch off. And I mean, it's like colors don't get old, so Oh, oh, those dots. Sorry, I thought you were talking about these things. Guess it's been a long week. Well, that's fair. Oh, and the cat is meowing. No, no, I see what you mean. No, I just feel like if I ever like went to someone's like real Stampin' Up class, that I'd just be like doing my own thing and collaging or whatever, and they'd like come over and scream at me about like not doing the thing right. But anyway, not that that's probably ever like how. Where is the end on you? Well, that's interesting. It must be the tape somewhere. Well, we might be doing an alternate plan if I can't figure out how to get their twine undone. That seems like there was you leave an end so you could tell, but it is also the sun is going down, so it may also be that like I feel like it should be here. No, I'm just screwing up the twine. Okay. Side plan. Let us perhaps use some Merry Christmas. Perhaps let it snow. I'm not sure that people would approve of that message currently, but we will just sort of. I don't know how much. I probably should figure out how much of this we're supposed to use. I think about 8 inches, which would be about yeah, and I'll just cut off the part that the cat chewed on because he was annoyed that I wasn't getting his dinner fast enough. But anyway, I feel like this should be one of those spools where there's like a cut in it where it should be like easy to figure out where the end is, but I'm sure I will figure that out at a different time. Perhaps not now. But basically, I'm just going to stick the ribbon through. The one thing about these tags that I like a lot is I don't know what you want to call that. The hole, I guess, at the top is just it's very nice. And I did this the wrong way because I want to feed through. Yeah, I think I did this wrong because I want to have the ribbon coming out the front. It could almost be a craft roulette card. It's a card with a ribbon. Except I think that was last week and I kind of missed it. And then you just oh, I'm off screen. Sorry. So I just looped it, and then I think once you loopity doopity, it will work. Although I want to be a little careful I don't wreck this. But yeah, that's cute. Although I don't think we'll really see the ribbon if we glue this down, I think I'll make another design decision because I see all those nice jewels over there. I think I will not use ribbon for this, but I think what I will do. Hello, Jim. Yeah. So it turns out I can't figure out how to undo things, but that's fine. Um, so what I'm planning to do is do what I said before, but I'm just going to stick. I think I'll stick one of these, maybe these light color in here to sort of accent this. I'm thinking we want Noel almost straight, and then we'll use this other tag sort of at an angle. I hate the idea of covering up that nice gold though, but I guess life will go on. Let me grab some glue and see. And I think if I use twine, that would be less of a problem. Like the ribbon just gets kind of bulky. But since we sort of dry fit this, it's pretty much put this wherever you want. And what you can do, if I had used a lighter twine, like you could leave this and then use the back for something. Especially if the back were pretty, which it isn't. But we will basically just wanna, we could sort of offset these too. I mean, I like the idea of maybe offsetting them a little bit so you can tell that there's gold there. Yeah, I like that. And because we're gonna cover that up anyway, I don't think it matters. Hooray. But I feel like if you did actually follow the rules, this would be a very straightforward card to like, I feel like all this stuff would come together very quickly and seamlessly because it was doing that before we went off the rails. Um, and where did I? Oh, here's my bling. So I'm just going to grab one of these sort of mid-size ones because I think that will fit nicely. Yeah, that'll fit pretty nicely right there. Just get a little excess glue off. But I think this is a pretty decent card, especially considering it took us about 5 minutes to make. I do like the reflected bling. Figure out, well, I think we have time to do one more of these. Maybe this time I'll follow the rules. Probably not, but there's a first time for everything. But yeah, I like the blues. Let's see what would be. Let's see if there's another one of these that speaks to us. If you folks have opinions, I kind of like the one with the ornament. Um, I like that pink and blue combo, even though I complained about it in the Spellbinders kit. But sometimes we're just contradicted people. And you can see like what the intent is. I'm not sure. It's kind of interesting because if you make this as designed, you basically have tags that are standalone but are like not directly attached. So that's kind of interesting. But there we go. We could do a similar color. We could do maybe more of a real blue, like maybe this or that. And something like this would kind of set off the pink. I don't know. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it does look fairly masculine, I guess. I guess because of the color palette. I mean, I do think generally like I do think simple with masculine cards sometimes. Not necessarily uncomplicated, but like this is sort of the same, this is all the same color family. So I think that makes it feel that way. Plus it's sort of it's not hot pink, so there's that. So Let's see what colors I have. I do have a brown that might be nice. This was actually a Hobby Lobby purchase, and I'm really digging them because it's. Oh, this is a nice brown, pink. Let's see. Maybe the yellow. These are all kind of muted colors, which I think they'll just make all the cards look like masculine cards, which is fine. Oh, we have a nice green. That would work well here, I think. So I think we'll figure out how to make that card. Tag, whatever. Or at least figure out what we need. We need one like that and one with zigzaggies on it. So I guess these all are kind of following that same. Yeah, it's this one. No, this is the snow. This goes with the snowman. Then we need the ornament. My cat says hello. Oh, this is gonna look really cool. Oh, that was on screen already, but like these greens somehow almost match, which is kind of dope. I like it when things accidentally work out. So we need an ornament. We need, I think, this little pink number. Yeah. I will say, like, if you're like a mass producing person, like this would actually work pretty well. So we have that as sort of a top layer, and then there's another one. These are all the same. So we have, that was this one. This one is not that. That one goes here. So by process of elimination, it's got to be this guy. Whoops. But I do like the idea if you wanted to get more use out of tags, like actually, hello, crazy cat. Like you could actually just use this as a mask, and then you could use like lunar paste or something over it. Perhaps not the wrong one with the wrong tag, but like if you wanted, I like to do multiple tag cards often, so it'd be kind of cool to like just use these as masks so that you could only would have to make one tag. Anyway, I think if we follow the rules, yeah. Oh, that's kind of cute. This I feel like we definitely need. This looks a little small. I think I want to mat this with something. See, and we're whatever could we use? Oh wait, there's paper right here. And it has pink on it. Spoiler. If you caught the live yesterday, this is the paper I was using there, but I'm pretty sure I can find something that matches. And there's definitely a blue paper in one of these pads that I like a lot. So one option would be to bring more pink in. I'm not loving that because it looks like it, then you kind of just said. I mean, I don't know. I'm not loving the. I don't think it's an add more pink, but I do think it adding like a snowy something. And I was thinking like this would look really cool as a mat with this on it. Although then you're kind of doing white on white, but I think that might work. I'd like a more saturated blue, really. This might work better. Yeah, because this is more of a more saturated. That would probably. How do we feel about this? That would look kind of cool, especially if you. cut your mat in a decent way. I'm kind of liking that, like the tag on top of some ice. Anyway. And cat chaos has ensued. I'm not sure where. Huh. Anyway. The kids are running amok, apparently, but that's okay. They do that. Well, like, I think that would be another direction you could go. Do I have hot pink? I do. I don't think, but like, you could do this, right? Like if you really wanted to sort of zhuzh it up. Like, I mean, this actually I think would work because you just have so much contrast. Like that would be like this would be pretty wild. Um, or really like a very vibrant blue would work kind of cool. Or actually, we could use this. This would look pretty sweet. Maybe I'll change my mind again. I'm kind of liking this as an idea, except you guys can't see it because I left T's message up. But I'm thinking like this as a color palette might actually work pretty nicely. Although like the blingy background is going to make the ornament not look blingy, but you know. I don't know. Like peacocks have pretty neat colors too. Hello, Alyssa. How are you? Oh, no worries. You missed me rambling about card kits, and we made this card with a tag kit to help one of our friends get into the holiday spirit. But I'm thinking I want to try using this. Like, because I feel like this would make it a very sparkly card, but I think I want to like make maybe use a smaller mat than I normally would, just so that you get a little more of the background, so it doesn't look, I don't know, borderline nuts. It'll be an experiment. So let's say I flip my, oh no, I'm in the right alignment. Let's say 3 3/4 by whatever that is. Like that, I think is good, so that we have a decent, maybe 4 by 5, I guess is the magic number. I do like how this came out. I'm gonna have to make more of this. The neat thing about the mica spray though is like you can basically make your own cardstock, and it's at least given what like Michaels is charging these days for some of theirs. So we would have that. Now we could either sort of assemble this as design, sort of like the other one, and we'll figure out what sentiment goes there. This I like actually because, yeah, I'm liking this. We probably need to find, again, we'll want to probably put something in there to make it a little more blingy. Although, I may have new bling. I bought this year's Spellbinder, so we could do like a traditional red kind of to kind of tie into the pink color too. Or green. Actually, green would work really well. Maybe I'll use these greens. Or we could just do teal again. I actually like the teal. Okay. We'll just do that. Oh, thanks, Crystal. It's just you could turn it into a mini wreath. Yeah, I mean, you could actually like I mean, that would be an interesting way to use these too, right? Like you could, like, I think we all probably have like wreath dies, so you could do like a wreath die and then put this on top of that. That would look pretty dope, actually. Like that would be like super festive. But let me glue down this base layer because the only downside of these mica things is like your cardstock warps a lot, so you really need glue. And I think it's vaguely turning my hands blue, but that's okay. I think about like that. Yeah, this. Whoa. Whoops. Oh well. Let's rub on the back, not the front. The front is being very mica-y. But there we go. Yeah, like you can see it like left my actually I don't think you can tell on camera. In real life it left like my mica like adhered to all the dried glue on my desk, so I guess I should be cleaning up my mat at some point in the near future. Let's see if our instructional friends have suggested a sentiment with this. For you. I may do Jolly instead, but let's sort of figure out how we want to map this. I think I definitely want the gold to the side and then this down, probably. Yeah, and then figure out where we would put you, about like that, just to sort of balance the space. There he is. And just do that with this one. Then we'll figure out which of the stickers we really want to use. I do like how this creates a lot of movement with the dual tag. Am I saving the joy for anything? Oh, I guess it's supposed to go in the wreath. So I guess I probably. Oh, I'll use the one they suggest. I'll be at least a little bit good. And the suggestion is to put this sort of here. Except that's not very even, is it? Yeah. That's a cute sort of Christmas sentiment. And I'm just going to glue this one down. I mean, obviously, any of this pop up if you want it to be a little more. Well, there we go. And then I think we will. I like the looks of these, so I'm going to just use a bigger one here because this isn't going to fully adhere down. But it's a pretty neat card. It definitely has the blue in it. This is very much like one of, I don't know what you want to call it. I need to clean off this card badly. Let's see if we can do that. Grab a wet rag and be careful. There we go. That's better. Note to self, maybe I should look into sealing some of these mica cards. Well, actually, not that much mica came off, so maybe I'm being a little over exaggeration-y, but let us see. Yeah, I like the stripes as well. But let me see. We've been live our sort of usual hour, so I think I will wrap this up a little bit. We definitely got in the Christmas spirit. I like both these cards, and I like the I think Christmas is being handled well here. So I mean I like the things that came in this kit. Um I don't know, I'm interested. I'm a little torn in that like my style is much more to improv than to read instructions. So I think you could definitely improv with any of these materials. Although you kind of, if you start improving, you sort of lose the like, it's just fun for beginners kind of thing. But I don't know. Feel like I'm going to get a lot of mileage out of this. I do want to try maybe using one of these as a tag, but like gluing the pretty sides together so that you had have actual tags that are, the same on both sides. So I may try that as well. It kind of doesn't give you the full use of I mean, you're going to wind up with less of them. But I guess the other thing I could do is adhere this to like colored cardstock and just cut it out. But anywho, lots of things. I guess we'll see what sort of improvisation happens next. Yeah, that's true. You do lose the math if you start improving. I mean, I guess it depends how much you care about that, but yeah, I guess that's sort of the trade-off. It's if you want if you want an expected result, you can't really improv that much, but if you are okay with not getting a expected result, you can. But I don't know. I think I think my style leads me towards kits where you have more sort of I don't know, freedom to just sort of ad lib and do stuff. But I think that I don't know. I think it might be worth completing some of these as is and then seeing how that experience is. Just because, like, usually my you know, usually my vibe is more to just sort of do stuff. However, the let the project sort of be what it wants. But anyway, let me see if I miss any. Yeah, no, I mean, I think so obviously, like, if you like one of these, like, if you have tag dies, like, you could replicate this easily with a stamp. You'd probably need to use some sort of, like, Sticklesy product to get the, like, foiled look, unless you're one of those people who has cool foil equipment that I don't have. But, I mean, I think you could definitely like, you can replicate these as ideas pretty well. But, that makes sense. Yeah, no, they don't steal my tools. They usually just knock stuff over. But they're pretty friendly. They definitely like to hang out, so, But anyway, guys, I appreciate you dropping by for another Sunday live and for some early Christmas. I will keep you posted on what we do with the other tags. I may make tags as a design just cuz I feel like it's worth, at least giving the kit designers like the I don't know, the at least the respect to do it how they like ask you to before deciding to do it your own way. But I don't know. But anyway, it was great chatting with you guys, and I am live every Sunday at 6 Central. Usually making, not doing kits, but doing more just projects. But I think we'll likely go back to fall next week. But I don't know. We'll see. It is fall. It is spooky season, and there are all sorts of cool cards to make. So anyone who dropped by, I appreciate it. And if you have comments, thoughts, and whatever, feel free to just leave them in the comment section because I read all the comments. So if there's things you want to see, just let me know because I'm more than happy to do uh, projects just that other folks are like enjoy as well. But thanks much, and I hope you guys all just have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys later.